Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. Let me go live here. And just in case we you guys missed that introduction, I want to say hello and thank you for joining me for another episode of the last minute live stream. As soon as my Heroes, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes launches, then I'm going for it, guys. I'm going all out, to the wall, from the window to the wall, until I break my opponent's jaw. Try to clean it up a little there, but I cleaned it up by using violence. And I don't know if that's like cleaner. So, welcome. Today we are going to be facing off in round 2 of this month's, this week's, this year's, whatever tournament of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes GAC. I am facing off against none other than Coolpack from Scruffy Looking. Now, I have a deep feeling that this guy, let me make sure my headphones are in. This guy is, what would you call this? That he's not a real person. That's, yeah, there we are. So let's take a look at his Nephilim Alliance. Nice. I think that this is a secondary account. I get these from time to time. I'm in a weird position that I feel like I'm at a point where I don't have, what do you call it? I don't have oh, balls. What do you call it? I face off more often against opponents who are not secondary accounts. That's where I'm going with that. I face off against a lot of secondary accounts. I think. I'm not 100% sure. But let's look at them. So we've got a Relic 7, Malik, Relic 7, Revan, Relic 6, Relic 7. So like he's got some good characters. As I scrolled through this before, I didn't see a what do you call it? A gas. He was just a very normal player. Get some tunage going. He doesn't have many relics. And while he does have a number of G12s, it looks to me like he's more focused on like specific farming. So I don't know. I don't see this as a like a real player. This is a secondary account, at least to my mind. I might be dead wrong. He did set a defense, so that is something that we will be looking at here in a moment. Why did I pull up Qui-Gon Jinn? Dude, but oh yeah, and I lost Ambrose, clearly. But let's bring up Coolpack. Boo-doo-doo. All right, so this is his top defense. All right, so we've got General Grievous. We've got our Geonosians. We've got the traditional, bounty hunter team. And we've got a Newt team. That's our top defense. Bottom defense, the bottom bees, as they are wont to be called, is First Order. Not First Order. Old Republic, Night Sisters, and Shakti. All right. Now, this is what we're going for. I've got similar. I've got my Old Republic. I've got my Geos. Then I've got this. I'm curious to see if this does any, you know, we've got old, what's his face? Pago the Lesser. I've got Soldier, and then I've got, boom, B2. Because the whole attack out of turn, it works here with this, and then like it gives a boost. So I'm curious. I'm really curious about this. And then down here, I did put Grievous on defense. All right, so this is my Grievous team. I also put a Finn on defense. I am hesitant. Not hesitant. I'm curious. I've got 2 Zetas, and I want them to be useful. And I'm really thinking that I might put a Zeta on a Finn lead, on a defensive Finn lead. Simply because I'm curious. I don't know. Then I've got this one. I just realized that I put Old Ben on defense. Well, balls. I was going to go for that, that reward or that thing. Here's my back line. I've got my Night Sisters, Phoenix, and I've got an old school Rebel team. Stay tuned today. I'm going to be posting a video today about Red 5 joining the game. Because I have a feeling that he might be coming. A lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are talking about that. But I think it's possible. So, let's look at Shock T first. We've got Shock T. We've got 5s. Whoops. And it looks like Rex. Let me just double check here. So, yeah, 5s and that is Rex. Okay. So, let's get to it. Without further ado, I'm going to get started here. I'm thinking this is what I've got left on offense. So, you know what? Actually, I'm going to start up here at the top with some of the teams that I know a little more, a little better. I'm going to go with the Bounty Hunters, and I'm going to use one of my favorite anti-bounty hunter teams. Raul! Is Gunray a good farm? Yes. Gunray is a great farm. Definitely worth it since the rework. And if I remember correctly, he's not difficult to farm. He's one of those characters that I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's a galactic? He's in a store of some kind. King Joker, welcome, sir. Yeah, I liked Gunray. I kept him on offense this time. Typically, I put him on defense, but I was curious because of some of the comments I got in the last live stream. That just started, man. First round, I lost, but I did get a full clear. So I got that going for me, which is nice. Oh, okay, so I should have... Okay, so this is going to be not a great start. Okay. Not a great start. I should have... I've got... I'm going up against a Relic 5. I should have known better. But it is what it is. And... I don't like backing out. I feel like it's a challenge. Should have known better. Relic 5, it was a bad move on my part. Because my guys aren't Relic. So, let's go with some of the other ones. Let's go here. How long am I streaming for? Until I'm finished. That's the short answer. My goal. Who am I going against? Geonosians? Yeah. My goal here is probably an hour, if I can get it in under an hour. But we'll see. Okay, so Grand Arena. I will say that one of the things that a lot of YouTubers who've been around for a while forget is that newer players don't know this stuff super well yet. And so Grand Arena it's PvP. It's like the ultimate PvP for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes right now. Yeah, and so it's really about a matter of how well do you know teams in different forms, right? How well do you know your offensive teams in 5v5? How well do you know offense and defensive teams in 3v3? It comes down to how well do you know the kit of each one, and it's challenging. It's challenging for the simple fact that there's so many different teams out there that it's hard to put together the best, right? Because you don't really know all of the combos that are out there because there's just so many. And this is where, what do you call it? Theory crafters, good theory crafters come in. My theory crafting is more of a what's to come than a, how good are certain teams together. But there are Geos, and Geos are a great team to start off with. I don't know why I did that. The higher you get them up, the better your ships become, the better your separatists become. It's really a good team to have. I still like Phoenix, but as a starting, just because I like to get Thrawn early on. I'm glad that I got Thrawn early on. But Padme straight out of the gate. That's probably a good bet because Padme is the earlier you can get her, the better. I think. That's the case with any legend. Oh well, then yeah, you're on track, man. Thrawn and Palp. I've got my Palp to Relic 6. I've wanted to get him to Relic 7. But it's it's one of those things where I'm trying to get my first order. And so I don't know. It's tough because I really want my first order. I really want Kylo. I do. I really freaking want Kylo. But and you need a Relic 7 Palp, but I'm trying to do it in order because I realized that farming the way that I was farming was going to take me longer, even though I was closer in some areas. But all right. Let's see. Yeah. And Brood's the linchpin for Geos. Yeah. What rank are you, King Joker? I think. Let's go CLS here. Just got a feeling that this is going to work. And maybe it won't. Who knows? We'll see. Rex. Let's stun Rex. That didn't work the way I wanted it to. But booyah, Grandma! Boop, boop. Let's take all these buffs off of 5s, because I don't want them to have buffs at all. Earn 40 at best, but usually falling. Ah, see, you're doing better than I am. When it comes to arena, my arena payout is at the same time that my guild usually does raids, and like that works for me because I don't know, I'm not super great into PvP. I'm 50 to 100. That's typically where I stand. And so like it's enough. Right? It's enough for me. But you know, I'm going up against, you know, GL Rays, GL Kylos, all those guys, and it sucks. I don't like it. Gas. I see a lot of gases on my team. Yeah. Once I got my geos up, like my fleet became a lot easier. Throw bounty hunters after first order. Let's do this. He does, what's his damage? 20? No. I'll do him here, and let's do this guy. Yeah. I am in Ball, which is basically Have a Life. We are part of the WWL, We With Lives Alliance. So if you guys know Gridden, the streamer, or the other YouTube creator, he was the one that created my guild, or the guild alliance. And like being part of like that alliance, it's been a lot of fun. Like I was part of a different set of alliance, and then there was like a fallout, and you know, it's one of those things where I am very grateful to have this kind of alliance, because there's a lot of people out there that just, I don't know, they take the game too seriously. And so it's nice to have a group of people who like just enjoy it and can get together and play. Like my team, We With Lives is the alliance, but Ball, I mean, man, the boys and girls, I guess, or however they identify, I don't know. They're way low key, and it's cool. Like we just did the ultimate, the light side territory battle, and I think we got 12 stars, and we could definitely do better, but it was good for us. It was a good run, and I was happy to be a part of it. I am happy to be a part of it. I love those guys, and it's way low key. Love it. Anyways, yeah, I was working on Ahsoka and Anakin. I've got Ahsoka to Relic 3 and Anakin to, I think, Relic 2 or 1. I really wanted a better Padme team. And, I just noticed that I wasn't there, All right, let's see. So this is Old Republic. My Malik could take this. I don't know if one of you just... Oh, what happened? Clicked out of my box. So could an Empire team. The right Empire team. Yeah. Bastila is one. So I run a Jedi team in Arena. Revan, Bastila, Grandmaster Yoda. Grandmaster Yoda and Baldy. What's his face? Jolie Bendo. They're both Relic 4, but everyone else on the team are Relic 7. I actually started getting relics, and I focused on C-3PO and R2-D2. Because I was thinking about it, and I was like, they're characters who are... let me double check their relics real quick. They're characters that are useful in a number of different areas, and so I was like, I could benefit greatly by getting those two up, But then I don't use those characters in many areas, so I was like, I'll stop. So I got them to, I think, Relic 4 each. No, my Max, he could do it, but yeah, let's do it. Let's go, Malik. So, yeah, I just have fun with the game. See, I'm kind of there with you, King. I have 2 relics, or as of last night, I had 2 relics, but I have 1 relic now, almost 2. And I've been thinking about, like, what do I want to do? Do I want to save him for gas when he comes back? Because I've had, 2 weeks ago, I had 3 relics. Then I was like, well, I could use them because, GAC's coming up. And if I relic now, I might get a better standing in GAC, with certain characters. Not that, it would make my team more powerful, but at the same time, I'd have a better chance of actually doing well, I'm not free to play. There's no way that I can consider myself free to play. And in fact, I've been saving. I've got a $25 Google gift card, and I used to call myself an aggressive minnow, and I lost my job, and really a source of funding for the game. I don't buy a lot of video games outside of this, and so it's nice to pay a little bit here and a little bit there, but there's no way I could be considered a free-to-play player. Used to consider myself an aggressive minnow because interesting. Because I'm not one that spends I'm not one that spends thousands of dollars, but I'll spend $25 here, $50 here, there. It just really depends. I've never vaulted a character. I've never gone through and said, I'm going to farm this guy. I've never spent like $300 on a single character. Typically what I do is I just farm crystal, or I just buy crystals. And that's what that's where my money for this game goes. So this is actually going to be kind of easy, this part. So let's go back to the front. Let's go back to the top here. And I'm going to do... Is it Revan? I always forget. Okay, let's do this. Let's go ahead and take these guys out. I'm going to use... Padme? Hold on, who do I want to use here? Let's use Rex. Let's use my clones! Galactic Conquest. Did you guys ever play Battlefront 2, like the original Battlefront 2? The Galactic Conquest mode was my freaking favorite. I loved it. So that's Echo, Rex, Echo, and 5s. Yeah, those stun guns and Carbontes, they're rough, right? My hope actually with that is that, and it's a hope. It's I know CG. The thing is, I know it's a company. You know, I know they're gonna make money. They're out to make money, and I don't fault them for that. But they've had some predatory practices. You know, yeah, it's rough. Like it can be tough, and so I'm the same there with you, man. That's why I do farming for crystals, crystal. That's why I spend on crystals and not characters or anything like that, because it's just way too much, right? Those Carbontes and stuff. Anytime there's an event like this, right, that's coming up, double drops, that's when I drop $20, or whatever, simply because you need it. I mean, you get advantage, or you take advantage of that potential, and that's really all that it is. It's potential. It's not even guaranteed. And so, but I mean, I like it. I mean, I like this game. I've played since the beginning, or close enough to it. And so, and that does help too. I say the longer you play, the longer you stick with it, the more likely you are to. Because I'm at a point, like I'm literally at a point where I have gotten all of my main characters zated. I've got them all fairly guild. I probably need to incorporate the services of, what's his face? The guy that does mod helping. But like, I've got some pretty decent mods. And so, like I feel pretty good, pretty comfortable where I'm at. But, because I'm an in-game player, I've got a little more freedom. Because I've been able to farm most people up to a point where they're effective. Let's see. Sith Empire. So I had two Zetas last night. I threw one on, what's her face? The Changeling from episode 2. The Bounty Hunter. I forget her name. I want to say it's not Bastila. Who is it? It's... Oh, man, that's going to bother me. What's her name? Anyways, the Bounty Hunter that Django works with. For the life of me, I cannot remember. Booyah! Shocking. I'm going to see it here in a second and be like, oh yeah, of course. Or it'll come to me. Boop. All right. Ha ha. Goodbye. Yeah, and this is like, again, I'm facing off against a guy who I'm fairly confident is not. This isn't his main account, and so I'm kind of feeling like. Let's see. I'm gonna use some shockingness. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate it. It's always fun. Like I love coming on here. I don't get the numbers that a lot of the other guys do, and That's fine. Like, I do this to have fun. I do. And there's a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of people who are like, oh, man, I got to win. You know, I like winning, clearly. Everyone likes winning. But, like, it's... For me, this is just about fun. I love Star Wars. I love this game. I think it's a lot of... I'm really excited that they're spending time and money and effort into getting it right. Versus just continually pumping stuff out. I probably could have done this with just... On a side note, I probably could have done this with just maybe Palpatine and Thrawn. But like, yeah, I'm excited that they're doing stuff to get it right, because I feel like once CG gets their code to where it's easier for them to create, then I don't know. I think that this game's gonna like blossom just a crazy amount. And I'm excited by that. Like, I'm really excited by that. You could say it excites me. It does. Yeah, so it looks like he saved most, if not all, of his really strong teams for offense. I'm hoping, and this is just my hope, that he doesn't attack me. You know, it's easier that way. All right, let's go after, and oh guys, and I'm telling you, I'm saying it now because I say it in a video that I'm gonna be posting later this afternoon. The Red Squadron, Red 5, I think might be coming. There's a lot of evidence that points to it. Like a lot, and and I'm happy with that. Like, very happy with that. So if you're out there and you're like, well, who do I farm next? And I'm not sure. If Red 5 does come to the game, I would get Biggs and Wedge up. I mean, I'm really thinking that those two are going to be kind of a crucial component here in the next little bit, especially if they institute or they bring in a Death Star raid. And a lot of people thinking like, oh, it's going to be a straight Death Star raid with ships. I don't think that's going to be the case at all. They've said in the past that they've been working on or, you know, doing a raid that is both ships and land people. And so that's what I'm thinking. That is exactly where I'm putting my money, is some combination of Earth and wind. I feel like Captain Planet right there. Earth, wind, water. I'm going first order here, and I'm only going to use the Kylos. Let's see how this works. It's an Empire team. It's an Imperial face team. What do they call it? Trooper team. Boom. But you got... Probably should go after Death. That guy. Foist. Oh! He blocked me! You turd monster! Pew! Okay, yeah, so I'm happy with this outcome. So... And like I'm telling you, and the Death Star raid that I'm thinking, because if they build to it, and it would make sense, especially after a focus on Empire Strikes Back, with, you know, the third movie being or taking place with Endor, I think it's going to be a connection with Endor. It'll be a connection with, you'll have, the half-built space station, the half-built Death Star. At that point, the raid character will be, Return of the Jedi Luke, all black. That's one that a lot of people have been asking for. I don't know if I think he'll be a raid character. But he could be a Galactic Legends character, and then maybe we get a different raid character. I don't know, but people have been saying Galactic Legends Vader, Galactic Legends Luke. I see Palpatine on a throne. That would be pretty epic. Let's see. Who am I going after? I'm not even paying attention. Let's go these guys. And I'm going to go Jolee and Jedi Knight Revan. Because just in case I die, Jolee can bring him back. Revan's my killer. And my thought here too is, with this battle, with these last couple of battles, just in case he does pull out like this crazy offensive team, the fewer people it takes me to win, the better. And the higher percentage I have when doing that, the better. Right? So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I think I think for those of us who've been around for a long time, I know the frustration because they've said a lot and they've talked a big game and for the most part, and I say most as in like the majority, right? And so majority, keeping in mind that a majority just means that 51% of the time, they've done a really good job with this game. I really do believe they have. For the majority of the life of this game, it's been awesome, right? I mean, it's been around for 4 years. We have 3 raids. We have ships. We have a lot of stuff, but I think they've fallen off with communication. They've fallen off with a number of different areas of the game, which is sad, Right here. I think this is going to be a fun team to play. But I think once they get this new tool in place, and I'm going to make a video later on today, posting it on Monday, I think, that will talk about this new tool. But I'm really thinking that there's going to be a lot of stuff coming once it's in place. Like marquee. I think that we'll see not only just a lot of new characters, a lot of new like legendary style events. I think we'll see a lot of replayable events. I really do think that a lot is coming here in the future. I really do. And I think it's going to bring people back, and I think people get hyped up about it. I'm excited. Like, I'm really excited. And there is a danger with being this optimistic. There is, because you get this optimistic, the higher you build it up, the more it could fall. And that's a legitimate fear I have. I am afraid that the more excited I am about this, the bigger my letdown will be. And, that's a risk. That's an absolute risk. And there we go, Rex. Let's take him out. Put a soak in. But again, I mean, there's a lot of potential that could be. And this tool that they're talking about it's like, if it is what I think that it is, I'm stoked. I'm very excited. But if it's not, if it's not as cool as I'm hoping for, I still think a lot of stuff could come out potentially. It just won't be the awesomeness that I wish. But again, I'm excited. I hope you guys are too, because like, I don't know. It's this game's either going to like blossom and live for another number of years, or it's gonna tank. I don't want it to tank. Nobody wants it to tank. I mean, maybe CG's competitors are like, and maybe that's what's going on. What do they call that? Espionage. And they're trying to sabotage. They're getting people who are moles to ruin the game, right? But that's conspiracy theory. And I like conspiracy theories. So I gotta say, I was listening to the Escape podcast last night, and the Nev was talking about this overcharge ability, and he called it the Harry Potter ability, and I'm like, that is awesome, and that's the way I'm going to refer to it from now on. Once you get the Harry Potter ability, maybe you get your 3 broomsticks. Boom! All right, so, 60. Nice. Now, I don't think I got any awards. I don't think I got any additional stuff, right? These tasks. 240, 24, 42. Ooh, a palindrome. Nice. Good way to end. Now, there are 4 hours left, guys. He could take me, and that's a very real possibility. He hasn't fought me yet. And so, again, this is why I'm thinking that it's going to be, that this is a secondary account that the guy doesn't really think or care much for. If I do win, this puts me in the running for not absolutely sucking in the last match. I lost the first match, lost the second, or won, potentially will win this one, potentially. I need to defeat more people with Grandmaster Yoda. Like, a lot more people. I should have played that differently with him. But it puts me up there, potentially, right? Because this is where I'm at now. If I win, I always do that. If I win this one, I will be... If Ambrose loses, then I have a chance to get my revenge. Yeah. But, I mean, it looks like I could be facing off against any one of these guys here. It really will depend on how their games play out. I want another Zeta. I'm hoping to get right here. That's my goal. Just as a heads up, guys, this is my farming. Show you guys before I go what I'm working on. I am pretty close. So what I'm doing is I'm going through, and I'm going to put once I'm done with the First Order Galactic Legends Kylo, I'm going to put together a video on kind of like my progress. But I finally got Hux to 7-star. That took forever. I'm going to be focusing on Sith Trooper here. In like all of my farming, all of my stuff is focusing on Sith Trooper. I'm doing 3 refreshes a day for him. Right, I'm close to 7-star. I want to get him to 7-star before they revert back to, the 5 attempts, which is stupid. They need to keep it at 8. I think it would be a huge boon for the community. But as far as gear goes, I'm going with First Order Stormtrooper and First Order Officer. Those are my 2. And the reason I'm doing that is because these 2 are predominantly focused around fleet energy. And so I'm able to farm more and more, or more easily. I'm able to refresh more easily without the cost jumping. And so I can farm Sith Trooper, without worry. And then I can, do First Order Stormtrooper and First Order Officer. then I'll jump. I'm actually trying to follow the guideline here, right? If you go to the journey guide, yeah, I'm telling you, Revan is a great team if you can get him. Or I mean, you will be able to get him. It just really depends on what your focus is, right? In my mind, a rising ship is best, or the idea of a rising tide raises all ships, right? Focus on a group. Stay with a specific group until they're good for your for where you are, for your arena, for your other areas. But then start trickling in other characters. So for me, like what I was doing is I was farming the ones that were closest to gear 12, which might have even been the best idea. But I've switched it up to farming these characters first, because Relic 5 and for this isn't super difficult to get to. So once I've got these characters to gear 12, some of my other farming efforts are going to be, I won't be refreshing as much as in those areas. So I won't be refreshing as much for, getting Sith Trooper. I won't be refreshing as much for getting the gear from the fleet arenas. But I will be refreshing my cantina so that I can get a lot more relics, and I'll be doing that more often. Then I'll jump over to Kylo Ren, normal Kylo Ren. I'll get Phasma and First Order Executioner. I'm actually 1 gear piece away from First Order Executioner, and I'm 5 from Phasma. And then I'll jump and I'll do this. So Sith Trooper, First Order TIE Pilot, Special Forces TIE Pilot, which is nice that he's only 3, because not great. He's okay. And then I'll finish up here. So that's kind of where I'm at. Simply also because I'm not going to spend time farming the finalizer until I can get those other things. Yeah. So the key is to really play to what your strengths are, right? And since I did spend a lot of time, focusing on my First Order, I was a little more prepared for First Order than I was Resistance. And so that's why I focused here. That's why I started here with Kylo. I give myself till maybe the end of June before I unlock Kylo. The key is to be patient. And in a game like this, that is very difficult. So just do your best. Now, to answer your question, should you go with a Revan team? It really depends. Or should you focus on them? It really depends. They're a solid team. If you look again at that, let's bring it up real quick. Right. If you look at this, I mean, he's got G12, G11 maybe. And relic. I mean, the thing about it is, yes, this team is fairly easy to beat if you have the characters. It's also one of those teams that is very, like Old Republic, is very useful in other areas of PvP. It's you have to take the Old Republic with some seriousness when you're going up against them. And so it's a good team to farm, and Revan's a great character. It's the same thing with Darth Revan. Great characters. But the idea, I think, is making sure you have good offensive and defensive teams compared to where you are, right? There's a lot of players. What I would do is I would look at the top 50. So do some research, look at the top 50 players in your arena and see where they are. Look at their inventories and see what counters you could create based off of what you're going to be going against, right? Strengthen their weaknesses, right? Be strong to where they're weak. And so that way you can kind of cut through them. some of these other... If you deviate from the meta a little bit and prepare that way, you're going to be more prepared. You do need meta-defining characters like Jedi Revan, Darth Revan, CLS, what is her name? Rey, Jedi Training Rey. All of those characters, you need them. But when do you need them? That's really the question. And it's a matter of timing, right? And if you want to be competitive, you've just got to time it right, in my mind. So, guys, thanks for joining me. Thanks for being on with me today. I really appreciate it. I'm not going to be able to stream my last GAC. I'm just going to be out of town, and I won't be able to have access to streaming. I will play it, and I'll post it on Twitter or Instagram, my win. Check it out there at realgoingnerdy.com or realgoingnerdy at Twitter and Instagram. In the section below, if you are interested, check out two things. You get a free, if you sign up for Audible, you get one free audiobook plus all that other stuff. It's free. Sign up for a month. Quit. You help the channel. It's great. Or you can get the Death Star or the Order 66 was an inside job t-shirt at the link below. Follow me wherever I can be followed. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. It is. I really like coming on and doing these streams. Like, subscribe, share. Have a great weekend. Thank you for all of those who are serving and who sacrificing both in the front lines against the virus of COVID-19 and in the military. I really appreciate it. I value freedom quite a bit, and I take it for granted quite a bit too. So thank you for those who don't. You guys are true heroes. Like, subscribe, share. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and as always, my friends, smile and stay nerdy.